Welcome back, guys. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at a soup offering that I love to have at the holiday dinner table. I'm talking about a lasagna style soup. I always love to have a soup offering. It helps to curb the appetite a little while the main meal is cooking. So if you're interested, head on over to kcknh.com. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Now, there is a common denominator in our family history that side dishes are the ultimate look forward to food. There's always a variety, we're never bored, but one of the things we always must have at our table is fresh soup. It could be any kind of soup, really, but this one really is satisfying. Now, the beautiful part about this, you're already using most of these ingredients already, so I find it's actually easy to incorporate a soup because we're using parallel ingredients. They're going into the meal, they're going into the soup. We have some flexibility in this, and you can do some decision making of your own as far as how far you want to take certain ingredients. Now, soup needs to have consistent knife cuts, and one of the number one denominators here is how do we balance enough vegetables, enough meat, enough fluid. So we got to start with sizing of our cuts. We have to be very good with our knife cuts. We're doing the basic mirepoix, or in this case, sofrito. And I'm adding bell peppers to this. You can use any color that you want. And as far as garlic is concerned, have at it, guys. We do a rude amount all the time. Now, pasta is your choice. We did opt to par-cook lasagna sheets, and we cut them into small ribbon, which were kind of like bite-sized pieces for this. But you don't want to cook these fully because eventually you're going to put it into your soup base. And as you can see here, we get some very small, manageable pieces already cut up. So into a pot, a little bit of olive oil. We've got kosher salt and black pepper going in. We're going to get this on a medium heat, and we want to be able to bloom some of these dried herbs. We've got oregano and thyme that are going to be coming into the picture. And this is going to be up to you on how far you want to take these flavors. When I made this, there's no recipe, but I can give you a guideline on what you can start with, and then you can rely on your own palate to taste test. Now, I do love the flavors of garlic powder and granny onion. I happen to like the flavor of dried garlic because it offers some roasted notes. So we certainly want to consider that with this. It's really a beautiful flavor maker when you look at it. So we're adding it to the pot, and we're going to make sure that we start adding our vegetables. We're going to need the moisture that comes from the vegetables in the cook. So we're going to add the celery, the onion. I've got zucchini, summer squash, and we're going to toss to coat this around. That way we're not going to burn those spices. And we're going to mix this around for a few minutes. We just want to make sure everything is coated. And it's going to take 5, maybe 8 minutes, depending upon size of pot, how fast this comes up to temp. So just make sure you're not taking off, because you don't want to burn anything in that pot. Oh my God, it's going to stink if it does. Now, just to deglaze, I'm using some beef stock. We're going to help make sure that the fond is coming up beautifully. Toss this around. As you can see, the bottom of that pot's got some flavor that we want to bring up. So that's why we've got the beef stock on hold, on standby. And you could see the changes in the color of the vegetables as they start looking brighter. That's going to be when you take it out of the pot, put it into a separate bowl off to the side. And in the same pot, we're just going to add more olive oil. Don't clean it, that's flavor. And I'm using 80/20 ground beef for this. Do not go lean. You're going to burn the burger. It is the worst thing you can do for a soup. 80/20 is going to allow me to have just enough fat to carry the flavors of this soup together. There's not a lot of fat in this, guys, so don't even worry about it. So we're going to break this up, and after about 5 minutes of breaking it up, we'll add our vegetables back to the pot. And one of the things you want to keep in mind, we are not fully cooking the beef. Not at this stage. We're risking drying it out if we do. So where the vegetables are part cooked, I'm going to take a look at the beef and you can see it's almost fully cooked. That's perfect. That's about 5 to 6 minutes after everything has married. I'm going to start adding my stewed tomatoes. Now this is very satisfying. No, don't do any judging, honestly, because my hands are clean. I'm at home, don't complain. I'm going to take some time here to really break up these stewed tomatoes in my hands, and I'm going to keep everything in that pot. If the juice is flying in the pot, so be it. That's what you want. So we're going to break this up into small pieces as best as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I did 2 cans of stewed tomatoes for this. And there's a slight sweetness that I love about stewed tomatoes. It's beautiful. Now, as you can see, we've got a bit of a simmer happening here. That's good. We don't want it to boil. And you can see some of the beef fat here, which is perfect. That's going to be a canvas for everything to come together. So just break this up and get ready to work on the second can here. And eventually this is going to start looking as though you're ready for the rest of the ingredients. I just want this to come up to temp. I don't want this to fully come to a boil at all. But we want to bring everything up to the same temperature. So now at this point, we're going to mix everything up. We may need to taste test it, so just keep a spoon off to the side. Look at the vegetables showing the beautiful color. We've now controlled the temperature of this because we don't want to have mushy vegetables. Now, a very big key component in this is tomato paste. Now, we have to consider we've added beef stock to this, so we don't want it thin, so we're going to add the tomato paste to the batch. And this is going to be this beautiful red color that you want to achieve. This will take about, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes total, guys. Maybe just about 20. It doesn't take long for this soup to come together. And now that you have everything, you can add your noodles to the pot or add it to the individual bowl. And as you can see here, we've dressed it with some fresh grated Parmesan, a little bit of parsley and scallions for color. Who wouldn't want to dive into this? And it's a great way to just ease the appetite prior to having your Thanksgiving meal too. As always, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you following along. And of course, if you have any questions, you know how to reach me, guys. Have a good one.